everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Battles, where I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
Hey, back with you again on a battle where we my wife picks two whiskeys off the spreadsheet. We don't have any idea what we're drinking, and we drink them blind and tell you which one we like the best. No fancy scoring system. We don't even need an ink pen today,
What about
bud.
horsies?
We already did the horsies. There will be no horsies in today's episode. I don't think. I mean, she could have picked it. You never know. We will do this, though. Just out loud.
Okay, that's easy.
That's easy. No pens, no papers. We're going to reserve that for tournaments, for tiebreakers only.
That's good.
Yeah, keep it easy. That's what I've been trying to tell you all along, but you don't want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you guys know what we're drinking. We don't have any idea. What you see on your screen, they're just in alphabetical order, so you'll follow along and you'll find out when we find out. That way, you can do it blind with us. We've had some requests to do it that way. Somebody can see what it is, have their wife or somebody pour them blind and see what they think and see if they agree with us or they don't agree with us. We always like to say we like to get things on
Audience
here.
participation is a good thing.
Yeah, we want to know about it. We had a guy in the Bottled and Bond budget tournament that got every bottle but one. I think it was the benchmark. He couldn't get it to where he was at. And went along and he sent us comments. I agreed. I picked this instead of that, and why. And you know, we bantered back and forth. It was pretty cool to watch how that played out. And for the most part, he picked the same stuff we did. So it's pretty cool. If
He must not have a refined palate either.
I bet he's a hillbilly.
Must be.
So if you've been watching the channel, we were right smack dab in the middle of a Bottled and Bond. We did a budget tournament. Then we did a not so budget tournament. And we got stopped right in the middle of that because that had Heaven Hill products on it. We're not going to do anything till Heaven Hill's back off strike. So if you're unaware of what's going on at Heaven Hill and the strike, Google it. You'll find plenty of stuff to learn all you want to learn to your heart's content. So Chad and I made the decision to not support Heaven Hill during that time. That means no videos of theirs. So the only thing we know for sure is these are not Heaven Hill products because I've told her no Heaven Hill products.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll get back to it when they get their heads out of their pottywaskies and get them people paid right.
How do you spell that?
Pottywaski, it's on the screen right now.
Good enough.
Yeah. If you don't, everybody knows what a pottywaski is, don't they?
I've never heard it till just now.
Are you kidding me?
I'm
My
not
dad
kidding.
and my grandpa always said, do you know what a Davenport is?
No.
Grandpa called the couch a Davenport.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's a fact, Jack. So we'll get right into these. We'll let you know what we think. We'll tell you a little bit about what we know. We're not doing a bunch of research on the whiskey, so if we know something about it after they come out of the bags, we'll tell you what we know. Other than that, to the Googles you go.
We don't want to give any false info if we can keep from it.
Yeah, we've probably done that several times. We don't mean to.
No. We're just trying to help you.
We're just a couple of hillbillies with an iPhone and a YouTube account.
YouTubes.
This one's, yeah, you're right. It is YouTube's. Number one's got a little bit of ethanol in it. Both the colors on these are pretty similar from what I can tell. It's got a good color to it. Look at those legs, but I bet that'll coat your mouth with caramels and nutmegs and baking spices.
Black pepper.
I think you and I had this conversation the other day. I was down at a bar in downtown Indianapolis. It was not Wise Guys, even though I went there that night as well. And I had some Angels Envy Rye. It's one of my favorites. And for the first time drinking that, it was, you know, you hear about guys say it's a caramel bomb or it's a vanilla bomb. This was a butterscotch bomb. It was insane. Even my wife could smell the butterscotch in it. My brother-in-law tried it. And I don't know. I need to do a little research to see if those are single barrels.
I don't believe they are.
I don't think
I'm
they
not
are
gonna lie
either.
to you. I taste cinnamon and different flavors, but I'm not gonna. I don't say that.
But it tastes like whiskey, ultimately.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
it tastes like whiskey.
They all taste a little bit different. We don't get into the...
Some are better, some are worse.
Yeah, we don't get into all the specifics about banana runts and Skittles and Hershey Kisses and cardamom and muskrat oil, gland musk. Number one does have a little bit of a sweet smell to me. Let's see what we think here. Let's just taste them. Have you tasted just number one only?
I have.
I'm guessing it's a higher proof.
I'm guessing it's younger.
You think it's young?
I don't know. Yeah.
See, and I would have guessed just by the color that it's not, but I do get some. Do you get sweet flavor?
Aftertaste. Finish. That's what you'd call.
You can tell that by the legs.
Yeah.
It does have some of that Kentucky hug, which tends me to believe that it's a higher proof.
Mm-hmm.
But in a good way. It's not
off-putting.
It's not harsh.
Fall's coming too. Good whiskey season.
Do you like that pumpkin spice wild turkey?
What?
Right there on the screen. Pumpkin squat. Easy for me to say. Pumpkin spice wild turkey.
Never heard of it.
It's one of those memes that's just supposed to be funny.
One of those what?
Meme. M-E-M-E, where you put like...
You mean a meme?
Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Oh, darn.
If you were more refined, you'd know that.
Refined on the interwebs.
That's right. With an S.
They're both, I think they're both excellent. Number two.
The finish on number one's better.
Number two just tastes like a good bourbon. There's something, I don't know what it is about number one. There's something that's just a little more different. I can't put my, let's try it with a drop of water here in a second.
I think number two would be better as a mixer.
You think?
This is my opinion, but I don't think the flavor's as good as it is in number one. Although I think number one's hotter.
I do as well.
Which leads me to believe it's either younger or older. Or younger. Yeah, well,
it's either younger or older. I think you're right.
Younger or higher proof is what I meant to say. But
it's like I'm getting good at guessing the proofs. When we did that bottle and bond tournament, I got probably about half of them right.
I think we got them all right.
Did we get them all right?
I think so.
Well, this is like, we're in our 20-some episodes, so you can tell. Did you put a little water in there?
Mm-mm. I'm going to, though. See, that time I didn't think number one was as good.
I think water actually did not at all hurt number one and maybe even helped it a little bit.
Well, that would be very unusual in my book if that were the case, but that's not to say
it just kind of I think it just mellowed them both out. I don't know that it hurt or helped.
Number two is pretty mellow already.
It is. I'll tell you this. Whatever these are, I enjoy both of them. And it's not going to be easy.
Are they good?
Pretty damn good, bud. They're almost phenomenal.
Wow, I don't think they're that good.
I'm going to pick a winner here, and I think the loser would win most battles. So she goes. You ready to pick one of those?
Mm-mm.
No? A little drop of water in number one, I almost feel like it made it a little creamy.
I got the exact opposite the second time I tasted both of them. First time I thought one was better than the other. Second time I think the other's better than the other. I'm going to taste them one more time with a little water and I'm going to make my decision.
So Chad and I have been going back and forth. We've now committed to only tasting 2 whiskeys, 1 battle a day. And I think I know for a fact, if you go back and look at I think it was Yellowstone and Rabbit Hole High Gold.
It was.
And I think Chad and I are both fairly well convinced that because of what we drank prior, which sometimes in the beginning we were filming more than 1 episode a day, that was greatly influenced by something we had before that was not good. You agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
So now we've committed to 1 episode a day. We do have a few things where there might be 3 whiskeys, like I don't know, our bottled and bond thing. We could run into some of that, or maybe a special review after an episode of something. But we really want to keep it to 2. And
it doesn't destroy your palate. It's that simple.
You know, you go to a lot of these bourbon tastings, right? And I think 6 is the magic number. You'll see 6 a lot of times.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, if you go to a distillery, if you're fortunate enough to go to a distillery, a lot of times you taste at least 4 different kinds of whiskey. And it's not maybe all bourbon. It'd be 4 products they make.
I know. I went to one. It was 4 bourbons and 2 ryes, all their product. And they did them in order of proof, low to high. But then they went to, you know, a high cask strength bourbon to a low proof rye. Then to a high cask strength rye.
I will guarantee you one thing, they have to figure it out how to let you taste them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's not all that's by design. And we think for what we're doing, it's best to do 2. Now, sitting around with your buddies, maybe 6 is fine. Just having a good time. Nothing super pressing on what you come up with like this. This is real serious stuff we're doing here.
Oh, yeah. Top secret.
Mm-hmm.
Clearances unlike any you've ever seen. A little 2-pound chihuahua is what you got to get by to get clearance.
That's it. So I'm not going to reveal my winner yet, but I'm going to say one of these is better, but it's close.
I'm going to say one's a little better.
And is this hard for you to pick?
It's not hard for me to pick. It's just different for different reasons. I mean, I could see myself on any given day picking either one of them for any specific reason, but on this battle, I've got a reason to pick one over the other, and we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they're both good in their own right. Like I said, one thing that we'll get into, whichever one of these loses, we'll put it up against something else once we get more episodes out and some more material. Gosh, you know, we talked Jim Beam Bonded lost to Evan Williams. I'd certainly like to revisit Jim Beam Bonded. I like it a lot. We've had a lot of things. You know, last week we had Sazerac Rye versus Michter's Rye. And we had our special guest, Lonnie. Hey, Lonnie, I know you're watching. Thanks for coming into the show. We'll have to have you back. But all 3 of us agreed the Michter's, more so when we talked about it afterwards, was...
That was the first time I had ever tried the Michter's Rye, but I thought it was significantly better than the Sazerac Rye.
And the good thing is, I think this is a pretty accurate statement. The Michter's is quite a bit more retail.
Okay, but it's quite a bit easier to find.
But it's easy to find, and I know a lot of people pay more than the Michter's for the Sazeracs on the secondhand market.
It's all because of that label.
Because of that label, and I don't think any of us were really impressed with Sazerac Rye.
It's the second time I have tried the Sazerac Rye, and actually it's the 3rd time I have tried it, and I didn't like it any of the other 2 times.
You see people going crazy for it on the secondary market. I know a guy that loves it.
Yeah, there's people that like it.
And good for him, but so I'd like to revisit Sazerac and now to battle it against maybe like a Bullet Rye, something that's, I guess you could use the word cheap, but back to that same price point literally everywhere.
People hate Bullet Rye. People either hate it or love it.
Do you like it?
Never had it.
I do. I like Bullet Rye. I've kind of here recently taken a liking to ryes. Picked a couple up today.
You're pretty fly for a rye guy.
That was my line.
Not anymore.
Oh, you taking it?
Apparently.
Okay, so you say a little bit better. I say better but close. So we're pretty similar there. On 3?
Sure.
1, 2, 3. So we were different.
I picked number 2 just because I thought number 2 was easier going down. I think the finish on number 2 is not as good as the finish on number 1, but I think number 2 is easier to drink than number 1.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good points there. That number 1, whatever it is, had that Kentucky hug on the backside.
My tongue is still numb from number 1.
I would say if you're new to bourbon, you would definitely like number 2 better.
Maybe. I mean, that's the great thing about it. Everybody's taste is different.
Yeah. Let's see what they are. Number 1. Da-da-da-da.
That's a Blood Oath.
Blood Oath Pact 7, which is what I picked. Have you had this before?
About 10 minutes ago.
That's it. So,
and it is, just so everybody knows, it's not easily accessible. So we're going through this again.
Well, my guess is it was paired up against something that is easily accessible.
That would be good.
yeah, I try to have those paired
Right.
up like that.
I've got.
Do you have the other packs?
I've got a 4. That's all I've got.
I'd like to try that sometime.
Yeah, we can.
This is out of Lux Row, which is in Bardstown, correct?
Right. And under new ownership as of this year, as far as I know.
Yeah, who bought them?
MGP, as far as I know.
MGP owns Lux Row, right?
It used to be Lux Co. out of St. Louis. And I think that it's been sold to MGP. And I don't know if the whole company has been sold or just Lux Row. I don't know how that works. I don't know what the logistics of the acquisition was. But so the thing about it is now MGP makes a lot of favorable whiskeys. And now they have a place in Kentucky to do it as well. So
can you read that? My eyes can't see it. This is finished.
Finished in
Sandy's.
some kind of barrel.
So it is a finished product, and if I'm not mistaken, this print's too small for me to read. This is a mix of a lot of bourbon. Some of them are very old.
Yeah, they're blends.
It's a blend, and it's basically the project of some master distiller that takes, I think, some really old bourbons and some that aren't so old, mixes them up, finishes them in the barrel, and releases this once a year.
And I think it's at 98.6 proof is what they all are.
Very good.
The whole Blood Oath thing.
That's the thing, because it's your body temperature.
I think so.
So I liked it.
They're like I said, they're both drinkable. They're both good. I just think that number 2 drank a little better. Now I could be completely off, but it just seemed like it did to me. That's all.
Like Chad said, this is not easy to find.
Especially now, it's gone.
Yeah, a week after it releases,
Well,
it's gone.
I don't know about a week after, but I mean, it doesn't take that long.
Depending on how fast the stores put it out. So it's not going to.
And there'll be some in your fall lotteries or your fall raffles or whatever. There'll probably be some, and you'll find some in the spring just sitting around somewhere. You might even be lucky and find one at the distillery, but they're not as accessible as that. First off, they come out in small batches. I don't know how many bottles or cases they come out with, but it's not a production. I mean, it's not like a production run with whiskey.
We don't talk about price on here, but for what this costs, I'd say if you see it, grab it.
I don't have any idea what it costs, honestly, so I don't care. But
so yeah, it's worth having in your collection. I mean, if you got 4 whiskeys, that's probably not the 5th one you want, but if you got a bunch, it's good. See what one. Well, not necessarily one. Let's see what you picked. Wilderness Trail. One of them. I'm a big fan of this bottle. This is a store pick.
And I am a big fan of Wilderness Trail Distillery in general.
This is their High Rye. This is the mash bill, I believe, on Blood Oath is undisclosed, but I think it's a High Rye as well.
I can't answer that.
I believe that's accurate. So if I'm wrong, let me know.
That's 100 proof.
This is higher than that.
And it did not seem like it was as strong as this one.
113 proof.
That's a barrel pick.
This is a barrel pick.
Single barrel. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's much better. So I would say, you might not be able to find a bottle of that because it's a relatively old pick, I think.
But you could find the High Rye Wilderness Trail about everywhere.
Well, because I don't think they distribute to every state, so I don't know.
At least in Indiana, it's easy to find.
The barrel selects, I don't know.
They're all different. Sometimes
they're bonded. High Rye and sweet mash bills are both out everywhere though, and that's the thing about Wilderness Trail. The way I understand it is they sweet mash everything that they make. So a lot of places will sour, like your big distillery, like your huge distilleries, because they're a big distillery at this point, but your huge distilleries sour mash a lot of their production stuff to try to maintain a more consistent flavor. But Wilderness Trail and I think Peerless both use sweet mash, which means they use all new grain every time, and they don't pull anything out and redistill it or mix it in or whatever. So,
if I'm not mistaken, Wilderness Trail for years didn't make their own juice. They just consulted and helped other big distilleries come up with things.
Well, they were making juice,
but for other people.
No. They made their own juice. They just didn't buy any. They didn't buy any juice from anybody to sell. They let it all age, their own juice age before they sold anything.
Before they sold a bottle.
Yeah, because they were selling yeast and all kinds of other, solving other distilleries' problems. But yeah, I think they do it right. I mean, I've been down there for tours, and it's a good facility. They've got, in my opinion, good business vision. So I think they're going to be successful. They're going to be wildly successful. I mean, I think that, I don't know if their rick house is down across the road or not, but they were like the 9th largest bourbon distiller when they were building that rick house, and that's in a short amount of time.
They're in Bardstown, right?
No, they're in Danville.
Mm-hmm. So something, when we talk about a store pick, and you might say, well, why'd you use a store pick? The reason a store pick was used because that's all I have. If I go to a store and I want to try Wilderness Trail and they have a store pick or a regular, I'm always going to take the store pick. Personally.
I will too if I can taste it beforehand.
Yeah. And that was the case here. It is, you've got several store picks from there, I'm sure.
We got a couple.
He's pretty well known for having good store picks. So it's a liquor store down in Kentucky. So if you haven't tried any of the barrel selects or the store picks, there's a lot of bars that are now doing them. Try them. If you have a regular bottle, taste them against that. See what you think. I much prefer them most of the time. I do have one store pick that I don't think is better than the mass produced on the shelf. It's that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's another one back here too somewhere. But for the most part, I like them quite a bit better. First of all, they're single barrels, always. Even like...
So the good thing about it is once you find a good one, once it's gone, there is no more. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It just depends how you look at it. But
yeah, I've had this for quite a while. Undoubtedly, it's long gone. You're never going to see it again.
It does not drink like 113 proof.
No.
I'll say that.
They're both great. I picked one, Chad picked the other. I said this was better than this, but it was really close. Get you a Wilderness Trail if you already have it. I do not have the wheated. Do you have one of those?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to try that, and I hear great things about their rye.
It's really good.
And then the fourth one is a bottle and bond.
They've got 6-year out now too.
So if you don't have any Wilderness Trail, and
all this is like 4 years, I think it'll say 4 years, 4 months. But now they're coming out with 6-year stuff. So
yeah, it's if you can get it where you live, try it. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive. It's middle of the road priced.
They're one of the good ones, guys. I promise you.
So if you're running around, I gotta have some Blood Oath. Can't find it, and you can't find it most likely. Grab you one of those.
If you can find them both on the shelf somewhere, I say go with this one.
Yep. If you only got enough money in your pocket to buy one or the other, this is cheaper than that by a lot. So they're not that far apart in taste. They're pretty far apart in price. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Find us on the Facebooks, Instagram. If you get a chance to go to our Instagram page, it's really cool. Chad does this thing with these filters like the kids use.
UV lights.
It's really cool what he does.
I just use UV lights. I take them under UV lights.
On your porch?
In the basement. It's got UV lights and just take the pictures and that's the way it comes out. UV lights.
Well, yeah, check it out. It's really cool. TikToks is coming really soon.
For Joe, it might be. For Chad, it's not.
Chad's going to be the star on the TikToks. He didn't even know it yet because it's all saved to my camera.
We'll see.
Hey, drinking bourbon's supposed to be fun. Chad and I have a blast doing this. We get to try different things. Like today, you never had that before, right? Get to try new things. It's fun to hang out. Do it with your friends, but do it responsibly. Grab an Uber or ride your bicycle or whatever it is you do. Get a ride. Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive.
Hey, let us know what you think. Until next time, I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
Have a good day.